our inviting guests. So please take a seat. Thank you, members of press clubs. Thank you for being here.
Told me Congressman Andy Levin is going to be here. Our very known Judge Karl Malinga is already here. He's running for this district. This is very important. If you want to win the governorship and put our Secretary of State and Attorney General back, and also our Supreme Court, definitely, yes. It's a statewide race. Yes. We have to win this seat, this new drawn district 10, and we need to put Karl Malinga represent us. We're going to have Sri Thanidar for Congress, running from District 13. We're going to have, of course, we have our very known representative Khaira Harris Bolden, Supreme Court candidate from our party. And she's going to talk about her, her daughter, who's been, 4 months, 6 months old? 11 weeks. She, even with the baby, she was going coast to coast of our state, east to west, north to south, just to make sure she carries the message of our governor, or lieutenant governor, or secretary of state, and our party. What we stand for is why this is an important election. We're going to have State Senator Stephanie Chang, and she said she's on the way. She just texted me. We're going to have start coming, and we're going to start our event. Okay? Thank you so much, all, for coming here. Okay? Thank you.
Do me a favor, whoever taking the picture already, please give others a chance to take pictures. People, please move around.
Dear friends, please give everybody a chance. And please let our leaders to say hello to everyone. Please come to the podium. Take it over. Our president, please stay in our stay ready, okay? Thank you so much. Please take a seat. Everybody over there on the side, please take a seat. And there are a lot of chairs. I would love everybody to take a seat. Please take a seat. Nobody sits in there. Please take a seat. Besides the media personnel from our community media. Okay. Other, please take a seat. Take your seat, please. Okay, with this, I would like to. Okay. Thank you so much. Take over.
Thank you, Dr. Nazmul Shaheen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's really a great evening to have you all here. I am Mohit Mahmood with Sadiq Rahman. We will welcome everyone to Bangladesh American Democratic Caucus Election Rally 2022. It is a great, powerful event from MIBADC. We deliver every election year.
Fairness and equity and opportunity and justice and access. And unfortunately, many of the values that are dramatic, some of the impact could be when we have this Republican-controlled legislature. I just turned 39 last week, and the Republicans have controlled the state Senate for my whole lifetime. I know that our Lieutenant Governor mentioned that as well. And we have an opportunity to change that, finally. And we've gotten all this national attention. So like there's the New York Times is coming in, look at all these different groups coming into Michigan. And why are they coming here? Because they recognize it is absolutely critical. So, you know, I won my primary in August, and ever since then, literally the very next day, I knocked on doors for Padma Kupa because I know how important this election is, and because I want to make sure that my daughters, when they're adults, don't have to keep fighting for democracy and keep fighting for the freedoms that were already won years ago. So we've got so much more work to do, but I'm very excited about serving many of you, about working alongside the incredible leaders here. And we've got to do everything that we can over the next 9 days to make sure that we get out and vote, that we tell all our neighbors and friends to vote, that we make sure that they know what all the proposals are, that they know to vote for our judges, and also to make sure that they know what their voting rights are. You know, this doesn't get said enough. We know that there are a lot of forces out there that are trying to undermine our voting rights. And we know that there are going to be people at those polling locations, at those drop boxes, trying to intimidate voters. Do not be intimidated. This is your right. The right to vote was fought for long ago. People fought hard for this right to vote, and you exercising that is absolutely amazing. So don't let anyone get in your way of exercising that fundamental right. And if there's anyone who tries to interfere with your right to vote, please make sure to call 1-866-OUR-VOTE. Absolutely critical. Please make sure that your neighbors and friends know that, because we know that on November 8th, there will be forces out there trying to interfere. So I didn't want to end on that sort of gloom and doom note, but I just really think that it's so important that you know that. So just make sure that your friends and family also know what their voting rights are. And thank you again so much. We're 9 days away. We're going to make it happen with all of your help. So let's go win.
Good evening. I am Ziauddin Joy. It is my honor to introduce to you Judge Seema Patel. Governor D.C. Whitmer appointed Judge Seema Patel to the Court of Appeal on September 2021. Judge Patel has always fought for equal access to justice and protection of law for all members of society, and ensure her clients got the best representation possible against big corporations, insurance companies, and governmental entities. Judge Patel is hardworking, passionate, and experienced. She has all the qualities that we need to retain in our judicial system. Please welcome Judge Seema Patel.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having us here. What a wonderful event. Those of you who know me know I'm a little new to politics, so it is such an honor to be here and to speak to you, the people. My name is Seema Patel. I am your judge on the Michigan Court of Appeals. Now, we heard from Kyra Harris Golden, Representative Golden, earlier, and she's wanting to be on the Michigan Supreme Court. And like she said, some of the biggest issues of our time are going to be decided on the Michigan Supreme Court. But for 98% of your cases, when you take an appeal, that appeal stops in the Court of Appeals. So the Court of Appeals is where the due process right, the American due process right to an appeal gets to be administered. Now, I became a judge. I was appointed to the court in February by Governor Whitmer. Before I was a judge, I was an appellate attorney for 11 years for a large civil rights and personal injury law firm. I started my career spending 6 years in the Michigan Supreme Court as a law clerk. So I tell you this because that is the experience and the background that I bring to the court. Now, last year, when an opening came up on the court, I decided to leave my private practice and become a judge. Because as much as I liked fighting for my clients and individual rights, it became important to me to fight for the system. Because in America, we need to know that when you come before a court of law, no matter what your political background, no matter what your ethnicity, race, socioeconomics, when you come before a court, you should be able to expect fair and impartial judges. And I became a judge so that I could be a voice in that room and ensure access to justice and fairness. And so thank you very much. My voting district covers all of Oakland, Macomb, and Genesee counties. It is a contested election, and we don't want to take anything for granted because I think our courts are too important, and we need people who provide that voice on the court. And another thing, we were talking about representation and representation being important. I'm the first Indian American or Asian American to ever serve on our Michigan appellate courts. And I'm very proud to serve my community, but I also bring my lived experience with me into the courtroom. And having a difference of experience in the appellate courts is vitally important because we don't sit on cases alone. On the Court of Appeals, I sit with 2 other judges to decide every single case that comes before us. In the Supreme Court, all 7 of those justices sit on the cases and decide the cases that come before them. So what that means when I am on the court, when I am on the panel, I am bringing my lived experience as the daughter of immigrants. I'm bringing my lived experience as a former civil rights attorney. I'm bringing my lived experience into that room with me. And we want to work to do the people's work, right? So sometimes in politics, there's a lot of divisiveness and this side or that side. But my goal is that I can work with my colleagues and work to do the justice for the people of Michigan. So that is why I became a judge and why I'm fighting to remain your judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I am Aziz Chaudhry. It is my honor to introduce State Representative Laurie Stone. State Representative Laurie Stone is serving her 2nd term representing the 28th House District, which includes the cities of Warren and Center Line. As a 3rd-generation educator, Stone has dedicated her life to improving the quality of public education. With 14 years of distinguished service as a teacher, Stone has advocated for students, teachers, public education, and unions. While in office, Stone aims to prepare students for the future by addressing the quality of public education, bolster hardworking families, improve the state's infrastructure, and create comprehensive solution to bring down the cost of auto insurance without sacrificing coverage. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome State Representative Laurie Stone. Please put your hands together. Laurie Stone.
Are you fired up? Yeah. Are you fired up? Yeah. That's why we are here. We cannot let the energy drop. We have 9 days to produce. When Democrats vote, Democrats win. When Democrats vote, Democrats win. When the Bangladeshi vote, Democrats win. Thank you. We got to do this. So as I was introduced, I'm an educator. Always an educator. Also a legislator. And for many of the families in this room, I may have even taught your children. And children who are now eligible to vote. I taught government. And even with everything we learn, there's a lot of things that we don't understand about government. What happens in the state legislature depends on who holds the power, who is the Speaker of the House and who is Majority Leader. And that depends on who has the most seats in the House. And that's why my appeal is not just for the votes here in District 28. I'm so sad that District 28 will no longer be Western Warren and Centerline. My new district looks like the new 13th House District, Eastern Warren and Osborne neighborhood in Detroit. But it doesn't stop there. We need 56 House seats across Michigan.
Right.
I drove, absolutely, 56 plus. We're just starting at 56. We need more. This morning, I got up bright and early and drove to Grand Rapids. I spent 3 hours knocking doors in Grand Rapids to drive back to be here with you tonight. Because the votes in Grand Rapids are going to help us set the agenda in Michigan. There are races in Macomb County. It's not enough to cast your vote. You need to look around the community and see who are these leaders who are going to set the agenda because it's what you care about. It's the issues that we need addressed. It's knowing that when we drop our kids off at school safely in the morning, that they return home safely at the end of the day, every day. Democrats deliver that. Republicans haven't done anything. Democrats deliver that. We need to elect Democrats. Across Macomb County, Aisha Faruqi, Sharon McDonald. We need to look to Mount Clemens. So we need to leave our communities and we need to find candidates that we want to go and cheer on and help them. Roll call. Who has their AAV ballot? Who got their absentee ballot sent to their home? Thank you. Anyone have it turned in? A+. But you're not done yet. Who's ready to early vote? You want to go vote in person, but we're not going to wait till Tuesday the 9th. Tuesday the 9th? Tuesday the 8th. I'm counting down to the 9th, guys. We don't have enough time. We need you to start taking your friends and the family to your clerk's office. You can go vote in person. Some people love going and voting in person, casting that ballot, turning it in. You can do it. You don't have to wait till election day. If you choose to go election day, don't wait. You have some homework to do. Here's your assignment. Go online and print out the ballot. The ballot is long. There are a ton of important decisions that you as citizens get to directly make for your government. You get to decide about democracy. You get to decide about term limits. You get to decide that all people in this country are equal, have equal capability of making decisions. You have that choice. There's also one of the biggest responsibilities we have as in your legislature is spending your tax dollars, making sure we invest in schools, invest in infrastructure. But we also have to step up and take care of our veterans, take care of our special education students, take care of programs like public transportation that so many individuals in our community depend on. Those are millages, and you have to vote for them. Up and down the ballot, take the time. If there's someone who is struggling with their English, be their translator. You have the right to bring a translator with you to the ballot. If you are more comfortable and you want someone to explain the ballot, then bring them. Don't let anyone deny you your rights. And that's what you're here for tonight. So, when Democrats vote, and Bangladeshis vote, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello, good evening. This is Salma Saif. It is my honor to introduce to you State Rep Padma Kupa. As the State Rep of Michigan's 41st House District, Padma learned as a parent, a working professional, and a working leader to find common ground, solve problems, and represent all the constitution of Troy and Clausen. Now she will take that to the Senate and build upon these efforts to advance the needs of our communities. Padma knows how to bring people together to solve their problem in the professional world, in the community, and now she will do the same thing in the Senate. Please welcome State Rep Padma Kupa.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So brown women rock. So I'm Padma Kupa. I'm the state representative for Troy and Clawson, serving the 41st district. And I really want to say thank you, because in 2018, I was this nervous candidate going to rallies. I'm an engineer. How many engineers in the room? How many people who work in the automotive industry in the room? So I didn't really know much about partisan politics. But I went to this really amazing rally in Hamtramck, and everybody there was so warm and so friendly, and I felt like I was at home. And so I come today before you from another event, feeling like this is home, so it's okay to wear this outfit. Because you would all appreciate. So here I am, a child of immigrants, but they didn't stay here. They wanted to go back. I had gone through public schools from kindergarten to 10th grade, and then my younger brother needed to go to school in India. And so they had to pay lots of money, and they had to do interviews, and education was not affordable or accessible without spending a lot of money. So I decided, after I got my bachelor's degree, I got 2 suitcases and $250, and I came back to the United States as a foreign student, and made my way through graduate school to get my green card, and eventually got naturalized here in the city of Detroit. Wow. And I remember that I said I would give my life for this country, because when I took that oath of naturalization. And so in 2017, when I saw a particular person being nominated as a Secretary of Education, I decided it was time for me to run for office. So I ran in 2018, and I became the first Asian American woman to flip a seat in the country in any state legislature. And then I won re-election in 2020, and now I'm here before you because I believe that we all came here for opportunity, for our children, to make sure that every child has access to education. Right. As a mother, it's not just my child, but every single one of you, your children, should have the same opportunity, no matter where they live or who their parents are or what they look like. And that is why I stood in 2018, it's why I stood in 2020, and today I'm standing here to be your state senator to get the majority in the Michigan State Senate, as they've said, for the first time in 40 years. But during my 4 years in the legislature, I've realized that we have so much more than education on the ballot. We have our voting rights. We have our civil rights. We have our health care rights. There are so many things that we must fight for. And I am so grateful that you are all here to fight with me, because when we fight together, we win together. Thank you so much. And Senate District 9 that I'm running for includes the western part of Sterling Heights, Troy, Rochester, Rochester Hills, Oakland Township 4 precincts, and Shelby Township 3 precincts, and Utica. So if you know anyone in those areas, come see me, I'll show you the map. We need to make sure every single one of them gets out there voting every single day. We need to call 5 friends.
Thank you. We will elect you. MIBADC started in 2009. So we have, including myself, there was a few founders in here. Out of all, there is one person that from day one started this MIBADC, and because of that, all of those years hard work, he put together every day. He made us, come together, work for Democrats. He made us proud everywhere. And I can tell about him a lot of things, but since all of you waiting to have your speech, but I want to introduce one of our own, Dr. Nazmul Shahin. He is only person from MIBADC, Vice Chair of Michigan Democratic Party. There is no other person is representing us in that party. Yet, we have large group of minority community that can change the election at their will. So, I want to welcome our Dr. Nazmul Shahin to say something.
Hello, Democrats. Can I hear you well? Come on. Are you ready for November 8th? Are you ready? How about this side? Are you ready? Yes. How about this side? Everybody ready. All right, brothers and sisters. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the last 16 years that you had trust on us and our organization and the platform that we created for our future generation to come. And I hope BADC will be the platform that will pave the way for our second generation Bangladeshi Americans along with all other ethnic communities someday to materialize the American dream. Dear friends, we are only 9 days to go. It's not time for me to talk. We're going to hear the great line of speakers. We're still waiting to hear from Attorney General Dana Nassel. She's on her way, I was told. We have our very own Rashida Tlaib, the powerhouse. She's here. We're waiting for Haley Stevens. George just informed me she's on her way. We're waiting for Andy Levin. Just we are told that he's going to be here in 15 minutes. And of course, we have Aisha Faruqi, we have got Sadia Martini, we have got Sharon McDonald, and many other leaders, and Kevin Reed representing our very own Gary Peters. Dear friends, all I want to tell you, please make no mistake. In 2020, either we were upset or we didn't want to go vote. Guess what happened? We put a clown in the White House because of our mistake. Only few thousand votes made the difference. But my friend, we cannot make this mistake in the midterm election. This is very, very, very important for us. So please repeat with me, if you kindly. Please tell what I say, please. From today, we're going to carry the momentum that we create, the enthusiasm that we created for our candidates. But please repeat with me. I will pick up my phone, call my friends, call my neighbors, call our party activists, call progressive Republicans, call independents, and tell them the great story that this governor and the administration had done, the senators, and the Congress people had done, the president and his administration had done in White House. And tell people to vote Democrats! Democrats! Thank you so much.
Go ahead, Jawai. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Muhit Mahmood again. Thank you, Mr. Andy Levin is here. Welcome, sir. So I'm Muhit Mahmood. It is my honor and introduce to Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib. Rashida Tlaib has dedicated her life to amplifying and addressing the concern of working families and everyday folks in Detroit and Wayne County, across Michigan and around the country. She made history as the first Muslim woman ever elected to the Michigan legislature. Strongest Congresswoman. The second Muslim woman to serve in the state legislature and one of the first 2 Muslim women in the U.S. Congress. Rashida will continue to work tirelessly to improve the quality of life for our communities through policy and action. Her commitment to staying rooted in the community sets Rashida apart as a public servant who put people first. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one and only Rashida Tlaib. I want everyone to stand up and have applause for the Rashida Tlaib. Please, Rashida.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. I don't know, I think I gotta take Keisha with me everywhere. I want him to go to every polling location, and all I know is when he says for democracy, it comes from right here in his gut. Yes. So thank you all so much. I told someone today, I swear to God, Brother Shaheen, I was door knocking in Inkster, and I said, he said, oh, you have events tonight? I said, let me tell you, there is no GOTV rally, get out the vote rally, like the one that the Michigan Bangladeshi American Democratic Caucus does. I mean, every single rally. Usually this is 10 times bigger, Shaheen, but it's okay. No, I love it. But I just want you all to know how appreciative I am that you all don't understand, especially when it comes to, being less than 10 days before the election, to get together, to organize, to inspire us to work harder, to making sure that we're getting out our folks to vote. One of the things to know is it is important. I think in many ways, many of you are the choir, you know you're gonna vote, but how many of you are encouraging your folks in your own backyard, in your own home to vote? I'm the eldest of 14, mashallah, say mashallah. It's a voting block, okay? My brothers and sisters, I talk about this all the time. And Cherie, I swear, if I don't text my brothers or my sisters, they forget that Tuesday's election, even though their sister is a congresswoman. So I have to text them, I have to call them, I have to pick up my mother and take her myself. And so it is important that all of you do that. They're actually waiting for you to text them. I promise you, they're waiting for you to tell them, hey, it's voting day. Or for instance, my cousin Haydar, I tell him all the time, hey, don't wait for election day. I know you might have to work at the hospital. Go now and go at the clerk's office, because that's what we were able to do in Michigan now. You can vote right now at your clerk's office with no reason absentee. You can get a ballot and vote right now at your clerk's office. It is important because I want you to know, and this is something I've learned. I translated for my mom until I was 12 years old. And no matter what, no matter how much education you get, no matter how much money you might start making, I don't care if you become a homeowner in our country, they will continue to other us. They do. They do. And I'm tired of it. And if anything, it is so incredibly important to show them the power that we are participating in our democracy. Because one thing they can't ignore is our vote. They can't ignore our vote. Mashallah, when we come together and vote, and I saw this in 2018 when we helped get elected the first time, I think 17% increase of first-time voters among Muslimin for the first black president to be elected in our country. Majority of our community was first-time voters came out. We can continue to grow this movement so that our community is not ignored and othered. Because one thing, no matter how much, they will come and raise money among our community. They will come and do all these things. I know what they do because I watch it happen. But one thing they can never do is take away your vote. And I want you to know, if you're not going to go vote for yourself, vote for your family, vote for your neighborhood, vote for the community you live in.
That's right. I'll tell you, Kaja, if we're not going to vote like this, like crazy, I'll tell you, the only reason we even talked about immigration reform, 10 years ago, Kevin, was because the Latino community was marching in the streets demanding it. We can still do the same, we can do the same thing. And so I just want to encourage you all to please. The other thing too is, my mother, she'll go up there, and I swear, Carl, she just goes up there and she votes straight. She knows she's a Democrat, so she'll vote straight, straight ticket Democrat. Like, Mama, you got to turn the ballot over. She goes, oh, it's too long. I'm telling you, you got to talk to your family members, because I don't know how to explain to you all other than what happened in Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, it was the Wisconsin Supreme Court, the state Supreme Court, that decided that Biden did indeed win the election in Wisconsin. That's how important the Supreme Court is. Do you know the ballot measures, the numbered ballot? And I'll tell you, both of those ballot measures would never got on the ballot. Even though we collected enough signatures, we did everything right, by the law, by the books. It was the Supreme Court, Michigan Supreme Court, that decided to continue to recognize the signatures and be able to put those on the ballot. So it's so important. So turning the ballot over to vote for the Michigan Supreme Court, Bolden and Bernstein, is so important. And it's going to take you guys texting the slate, talking to your family members. Please do it. I know when my brothers and sisters go in, they literally call me, "Where's Rashida? Which judge? I can't remember." So that's okay. Let them do that. You're allowed to help people. You're also allowed to take a translator with you. I don't know how many of you know that. I used to go with my mother, and I was able to translate the ballot to say, "Mom, this is the nonpartisan section," and so forth. You can't vote for them, no, but you can translate and at least assist them on what is on the ballot, to explain it to them. So it's so important that you guys work the ballot, because I'll tell you, on the back of the ballot, it's not only the ballot measures, the judges, the Michigan Supreme Court, it is also our local school board, which is now under attack. Our local school board is going to touch the lives of our children more than anything. So making sure that you're also going to that section of the ballot. One thing I want to do, if I can, Brother Shaheen, is I want to do a quick video with the folks talking about turning the ballot over. I hope that's okay. Where is he? Because I always get, well, Kaja, you always say yes to anything. Let me tell you, Kaja, I was in charge of my pep club in high school. For all the sports, I had to get the whole crowd hyped up. You would have been great at that job, honestly. Mashallah, you are really good. I can feel it when you do it. I get excited just sitting there. I was getting excited, like I was kind of tired, but you got me kind of riled up. Yes, thank you, brother, thank you. So I'm going to tell you guys, I want you to post something today, making sure that people say, turn your ballot over. So I'm going to put my camera up, and I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to say, the Michigan Bangladeshi American Democratic Caucus has a message for you all. And I'm going to say, what's the message? And you all say, turn the ballot over. You got it? Okay, let's do this. Are you okay with that, Brother Shaheen? By the way, Brother Shaheen, when I got elected, was still in China, right? Or Japan? Was it China? It was China. And he was texting me. He was in tears. We were just, you made me cry. Thank you for always having my back. From all the way from China, he was just so incredibly proud, because he had my back when I was a state representative and continued to support me as I became a United States Congresswoman. Thank you, brother. Thank you to the Bangladeshi American Democratic Caucus. The best GLTV rallies right here. It is epic. All right, everyone, get ready. Now, I'm not very techie, very, very good at this, but we're going to try our best. I know it looks like I am, but I'm not. I let everybody believe I'm younger than I am. Okay. You all ready? Okay. And by the way, if you watch any comments, ignore the haters, okay? They're not even in our state. Okay. Hey, everyone. The Michigan Bangladeshi American Democratic Caucus has a message for you. Get ready. Turn the ballot over. Turn the ballot over. Vote for Bolden, Bernstein. Yes on 2, yes on 3. Isn't that right? Yeah. Thank you.
So this is another award of recognition that we do give it to our leaders, serving 3 terms and plus, very dedicatedly. And our Attorney General, Daniel Nasir, is here. Everyone give a hand. Yes. So this year, the award goes to Muhammad Bahar. He's not here, he's sick, he couldn't be here. Fakhrul Islam he's not here. Is he here? Kopru, Islam, Batshugai, had done a lot of work for our party. Javed Chaudhry. So, Javed, please hurry up. And Kausar Dhawan. Kausar, dedicated General Secretary. And Salma Saif.
Congratulations.
You'll be all about the face.
I need to somebody come up front. I didn't
Come on, Kasha, tell them what to do.
Yes! Yeah, I'm proud.
Is Kausar here? Thank you. Salma Saif, no?
Wow, what a beautiful faces! Oh,
Kausar Dhawan, our General Secretary, has a lot of dedication since we started this organization. Without saying anything, the most dedicated person day and night. Thank you, Kausar, for everything you do. Thank you.
I got to warn the Attorney General's amazing work that you've been doing against utility companies. Thank you so much. I want to warn you, Kaja is going to come over here and yell for democracy. Just be ready, because you're going to feel it in your gut. So, thank you for coming.
Hello everybody, I'm Zakirul Haq and it's my honor to introduce Congressman Andy Levin to you. A union organizer, human rights activist, workforce policy expert and green energy entrepreneur, Congressman Andy Levin has spent his career fighting for an equitable and inclusive future for all people. Andy has always been advocating for working families. He worked to strengthen organized labor legislation critical for a workers' right, including the National Labor Relations Act, the proposed TEAM Act, the Federal Transit Act, and the Fair Labor Standards Act. Please welcome Congressman Andy Levin, a great friend of the Bangladeshi Americans.
Thank you. All right, good evening. Assalamu alaikum. All right. Tuesday, November 8th. How many days? 9 days. Carl was the loudest. 9 days. Not that he's counting. Everything is at stake on November 8th. Everything is at stake. Can we start by talking about Bangladesh? Can we start by, I'm on the Foreign Affairs Committee. Can we talk about Bangladesh? You think it doesn't matter whether Democrats or Republicans win on November 8th for our policy towards Bangladesh? How generous has Bangladesh been hosting so many Rohingya refugees? Fantastic, right? The Republicans will cut our foreign aid budget to assist Bangladesh in this work. The Democrats will increase our budget. Which country in the world is more vulnerable to climate change, the effects of climate change, than Bangladesh? Is there any country? What do the Republicans do about climate change? What do they do about the fact that we are overheating this planet? How much did Bangladesh contribute to this problem? Nothing! Nothing! And how much are they a victim of rising sea levels? We need to elect Democrats to take on climate change and to help poor countries like Bangladesh be able to survive the onslaught of rising sea levels. We need to elect Democrats up and down the ticket. Let's talk about this country. Immigration. We were talking earlier about immigration policy. The Republicans' whole policy on immigration is just to scare people about immigrants coming to this country. This country was built by immigrants. Generation after generation of immigrants, including my own family and everybody's family who's not a Native American. We need to be proud of our immigration policy. We need to encourage immigration to this country. And for the 11 million plus people who have here, they've been working, they've been paying taxes, and they've been living in the shadows, let them come out of the shadows, give them a path to citizenship. in this country, right? And I don't care if you're a worker and you just want your family member to be able to come here. I don't care if you're a business person. We need to facilitate immigration to this country so we have enough workers, so we can encourage businesses. And that is something the Democratic Party will do. What's the Republican Party going to do about immigration? Shut it down. And that is no good for our economy, and it's no good for our country. Look at the contributions of just this community to our country. The businesses, all the work that you've contributed, the cultural contributions. How fantastic is it that Michigan has been enriched by the Bangladeshi American community in so many ways? Somebody was saying, we've got a great dinner tonight. I said, dang, I can't stay for dinner. Cultural contributions, food, art, religion, right? This is what America's made of. All of the contributions of people from there's no country like this in the whole world. Let's celebrate our incredible diversity and elect Democrats so we can continue to facilitate it. Now let's talk about the economy for a minute. Let's talk about the economy, okay? I think we Democrats have made a mistake on messaging on this, because the cost of living has been rising and it's hurting working people. Is Joe Biden responsible for Russia invading Ukraine? Right? Is Joe Biden or Democrats responsible for the worst global pandemic in 100 years? But it's true that inflation is hurting people, the rising cost of living. But here's the secret. The Democrats are the one who are doing a darn thing about it. Right? Who is passing legislation to reduce the cost of prescription drugs? Democrats. Who's in the pocket of Big Pharma? Republicans. Right? Who passed laws to increase the child tax credit so every family got $250 or $300 every month for every child under 18? That was the Democrats. And who killed us being able to make that permanent? The Republicans. Who helped 43 million Americans reduce their student debt by $10,000 or even $20,000? Democrats. Republicans? No. Who passed laws to help millions of more people have access to affordable health care through the Affordable Care Act? Democrats. Go up and down the line, taking on big corporations, taking on price gouging. Please, our very democracy is even at stake. The person running against our great Attorney General, the person running against our Secretary of State, the person running against our governor, these are flat-out election deniers. If we allow the Republicans to elect people like this to statewide office in Michigan, you can kiss our democracy goodbye. And that's true for a lot of these congressional candidates too. So please, get out there yourselves, vote early. Has anybody already voted? Let me see. All right, that's fantastic. Let's all get out there and vote early. Take your family members to the polls, take your cousins, take your colleagues, take people from your religious institutions. Get everybody out there. Let's vote in record numbers for an off-year election. Let's prove history wrong that says, oh, the new president's party always loses in the next off-year election. Let's elect Carl Marlinga as the next congressman from Macomb County. Please do that. And then we will have a beautiful day on November 9th. Thank you all very much. Thanks for being here. Take care.
Good evening. Are you ready for Dana Nassel? Hello, my name is Sadiq Rahman, and it is my honor to introduce to you Michigan Attorney General Dana Nassel. Attorney General Dana Nassel was sworn in Michigan's 54th Attorney General on January 1st, 2019. She was a former criminal prosecutor and a civil rights attorney. Since taking office, Ms. Nassel has created a number of new consumer protection units in the Department of Attorney General, including those addressing the hate crimes, domestic terrorism, wrongful convictions, elder abuse, payroll fraud, and scammers who prey on the public. Attorney General Nassel has worked tirelessly to mitigate harm for environmental toxins such as PFAS, while bolstering protections for clean air and water. So please welcome Attorney General Dana Nassel.
Thank you. How's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
All right. Is everybody ready to vote?
Yes.
Is everybody ready to win this thing?
Yes.
Okay. So, look, as Attorney General, there are so many different things that I wanted to do in office. And to be honest with you, a lot of it was suing the Trump administration. And we did a lot, and we won a lot. 86% of our lawsuits we won against the Trump administration for all of their many transgressions against people who live in this state and who live in this country. But we did a lot of other things consumer protection-wise, and we have done so much to protect seniors and students and veterans and workers, and the list really goes on and on. But there are really a few things that I just really want to make sure that people are aware of and people understand. Now, I don't have to explain to this community the exponential rise in threats to all immigrant communities and to all communities of color. Very sadly, horrifically, we have had this incredible rise, and the tolerance that we see, the support, the encouragement we see, frankly, from the Republicans should scare each and every one of us. And that is why in 2019, I was the first state attorney general to create a hate crimes and domestic terrorism unit in my office so that we could directly take complaints about hate crimes and that my office would investigate those cases and prosecute those cases, and we have. And we have. And whenever we have somebody who is a public servant that gets threatened, and we've seen this over and over and over again, and I don't care if you are a school board member, you work in public health, or you're the governor of this state, you don't deserve to be threatened. And the fact of the matter is this: we can have disagreements with public officials, and that's fine. That's your First Amendment right. You can say, I don't like your policies, I don't like your votes, but what you can't do is you can't threaten to kill that person and their family members. That is a crime, that is illegal, and if you do it, I will prosecute you. But just as bad, if not worse, is the rise in white supremacy, the rise of these militia organizations, the rise in domestic terrorist outfits that we have seen across this great state. And we've had to prosecute a lot of these cases. We investigated and prosecuted a group called The Base, which is the literal translation of Al-Qaeda. And they were a group that was training, they were recruiting, they had, manuals, they had uniforms, they had a location where they were training in the thumb, and they were preparing mass carnage for minority communities in this state. Now, they hadn't picked a target yet. They didn't know which temple or which mosque or which church they were going to blow up, but they were going to do something on an epic scale that would have produced an enormous body count. But that never happened because we went in, we arrested them, we prosecuted them, and now they're all sitting in a place called the Michigan Department of Corrections, taking a little time out to think about what they did. And then you might have just seen last week where we convicted 3 men who were members of a group called the Wolverine Watchmen, and that was a group that wanted to do a lot of things. They wanted to kill people in law enforcement. They wanted to kill our state legislators. And they also wanted to kidnap and assassinate our sitting governor, Gretchen Whitmer. But they didn't. They didn't get that chance because we came in, again, we arrested them, we prosecuted them, and then we convicted them. And each one of these men are facing lengthy prison sentences when they are sentenced. And that's the important thing to remember because, unfortunately, the federal authorities really don't have domestic terrorism laws to protect their own citizens. They just don't. But you know who does? The state of Michigan. And that's why I have to be as aggressive as possible in making sure that we are protecting all communities in this state. And that especially means immigrant communities, and that especially means communities of Black and brown people who are the biggest